All right, welcome everybody to the first Premier Racing League week in review for 2026 and the spring 2026 season. I'm Cameron Arndt, driver the number 3.
And I'm James Jackson, driver the number 29.
We're conspicuously missing our third co-host. He's only going to be here certain times, but his work schedule allows him to be here. So um, he'll be here every once in a while, but not with any regularity, I assume. So, you got any opening thoughts before we jump into anything here?
No, I think I'm just excited to get going on the season and see what we're up against with the new car and hopefully a much bigger field than we had last season.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Seems like we're gonna have a lot more guys join us, so I'm excited.
Me too. Me too. Do we want to just hop into the clash? Cover that real quick before we get
May
to
as
the
well.
news.
Yep. So we're gonna start with the clash here, and then we'll hop into some rule book and stuff like that we need to cover before the season starts. Griffin Deer out there on the pole, shocking the world.
Not really. I mean, he's fast on the road courses.
Well, he was shocking Dakota, that's for sure.
I mean, he put down a lap. Yeah, he put down a heater, but yeah, I think it was a 155.8 or something like that. It was the pace was quick in qualifying.
I was surprised on. I was surprised. I didn't think. I thought my lap was terrible. Then when I gridded, I was 5th. I'm like, oh, maybe it was better than I thought it was.
Unfortunately, Griffin did not realize it was a first gear start.
I mean, I was starting in second gear, but so was he. So that's kind of why didn't really notice it. What a save here by Miguel.
Yeah, speaking of didn't notice it, because I was fighting. I didn't know I was 3 wide, but fighting 3 wide. I didn't realize he ran Griffin over and just about buried it.
Almost an unsafe rejoin there, but I gave him the room when I saw him coming back up.
Well, and what I didn't realize is I thought that was a penalty. But I guess it's after the pit road exit.
Yeah, it has to be. That's at that point. There's no pit road speed limit, and so it won't penalize you like if you went on pit road.
And then something we were all worried about, I think, is this turn 1, lap 1. Get a chain reaction, Miguel into you, into Jared, and Jared comes back and takes out Jim.
I knew somebody spun there. I had no clue who it was. I was trying to fight to get back a couple positions that I lost from that.
And then, just because again everything's happening right here, right now. Who are we on here? DJ here, one of our new guys.
Yep.
Nothing he did wrong, just a little overcooked. Oof. And honestly, it's incredible. This wasn't bigger than it was.
Yep.
Just a little bit of a bang up for Griff on the nose.
I will point out to anybody who was with us last season that might be confused. The number Ed Smith, he changed his number. He's now number 99, and DJ Harris or DJ, I forget what his last name is off the top of my head. He took number 69. He's new to the series, so don't be confused there.
DJ Mattis, I think I saw.
Mattis, I couldn't remember.
We'll get it.
We'll get it eventually. We struggle with everybody's names the first couple races. Some of these guys that we get immediately, we've raced them for a while, so we'll get everybody's names down. These new guys.
One of these times, I'll get Richard and everybody right too. So
yeah, don't ask Dakota to get Richard's name right, because that's not going to happen.
No. But just right where we left off, Dakota. Fast and in front, per usual.
So fast he ran himself out at the end, just not to spoil it, but he realized about halfway through the race that he wasn't going to make it on the pace that he was running.
A little wheel hop from me, a little slow down.
See, I don't know how you were able to get that slowdown clear without really losing any momentum at all to me.
I was
I was like, oh, I'll
shocked.
pass him here.
I was shocked it was only a 1.1.
That's crazy.
Both times I did it. Like the next lap I do it again, it's a 1.1. But
Oh,
I
this
did
time,
I did
yeah.
overcook it because I was fighting that 1.1.
I'm like, well, I'm not going to be mad about it now. I got past him.
I do like the Dr. Pepper scheme, Cam. It's a nice
Yep.
look.
Yeah, I was thinking about what scheme I should run with this season. I happen to have a Dr. Pepper can in my hand, so I'm like, it's perfect. Well, NFL playoffs coming up here, so there's some footballs on there. My team actually made the playoffs, so I have to put a Bears logo on there. Ooh, I don't not really. Is that damage or is that just? I was thinking it's just the render was weird there for a second.
Where were
That
you
damage
missing the
on back of my
bumper?
car. Yeah.
Yeah, if I got too far back from you, your bumper would go away, and then it closed
Huh.
back in, and it would come back. I don't know what was up with it, but
Weird. That paint scheme is all. I made that one too, based off of one of Jeff Gordon's Drive Down Hunger paint schemes.
I thought so. I thought I recognized it.
I meant to post the picture of the car we were basing it off of in the chat, but I forgot to do that.
Didn't mention it yet, but Griffin, now a member of my team, replacing the departed Jackson Wade.
It was surprising for me to see such a drastic change to Griffin's car from being used to those dark or the white John Deere schemes, seeing this bright neon green, yellow, whatever you want to call it scheme.
Yeah, it's that Menards highlighter.
Yeah.
Too far.
See, at this point in the race, I was like, James is struggling. He's losing all these positions and everything, but you were able to gain it back pretty.
Yeah.
Once you got into a rhythm.
Yeah.
Plus, it was kind of entertaining for me to watch you guys because it was somebody different making a mistake like every corner.
So, and Griffin's slowdown for that second chicane was 2.5.
You see, I agree that chicane should be more of a slowdown than the back chicane is because you can gain a lot more time just by how much you have to slow down for that one. But I think the back chicane is definitely way too lenient. At least it was for you.
Well, and I didn't blow the whole thing. I blew the second half of it. So, like, I was already slow. But I was surprised when it was a 1.1 popped up. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it is. It's definitely. I don't think it's necessarily that. Like, I think it probably fits the crime. It's just that you happen to hit it perfectly to where I didn't really gain anything on you.
And I'm going to give a little credit to Miguel here, man. He was fast in our Mid-Ohio fun race, and he was fast here, especially early. He's just got to put one of these things together. It's going to be a problem by the time we get through these 3 road course races this year.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm really excited about is that despite the fact that Dakota got to some big leads every once in a while, the top 5, for the most part, was pretty much under a blanket like the entire race. So we got some good road course racers in this car.
Yeah. Up until Miguel has his incident, the top 5 is all within 10 seconds the whole time.
Which, I mean, Daytona's a 2-minute lap, right around there, so that's real close together, 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Brandon's second. He's in the chat. Hello, Brandon.
My dad also with the Dr. Pepper logo there.
Yeah, I saw that on there. I thought that was pretty cool. Running the classic scheme for him. At this point, I feel like he's just got to keep the scheme forever. Like, it's iconic.
Yeah, we'll have a couple variants for him for the year, but for the most part, it's going to be, think since we went with the Penske motif, think Joey Logano Pennzoil, or for a long time there, Brad Keselowski Miller Lite. That's going to be his base.
It's a really nice paint scheme. I think he did a great job with it, and he repped it well in
Oh,
that first. Ooh, big lock up there. Significant slowdown. That was basically like a NASCAR stop and start.
yeah. DJ recovering decently from his lap 1 shenanigans.
Yeah, surprising thing with this car being not the composite bodies that the next gens are. It's kind of surprising that some of these incidents there wasn't more significant damage. People, like for the most part, were able to continue on.
Ed with some damage on the rear there.
It's actually my first time seeing that car out on track.
Oh, Jared in pit road. Didn't realize
Moved
he
down
had
pit
wrecked.
road.
And Brandon.
Coda just cruising.
Man, he took that low entry into that NASCAR chicane.
Yeah, me and him were both taking that same line into that corner, which I think was where you thought that we were, the why it was so difficult for you to pass me more so than Dakota into that chicane is we were setting up the second corner much more so than the first one. And so we were slowing way, way down and taking it all the way to the left side of the track and through there.
Yeah, like I was all the way up against the wall, and then I'd hit the brakes at the 7 board and just hold the brakes, like not lock them up, but like hold a steady pressure and kind of all the way through the gears back to first. And but yeah, like when I get to you, you just leave this little bit open, and oh, might see the problem here. We're gonna go to half one. Okay.
I don't really know where the 7 board even is because we and him were breaking just before um, where it says Daytona on the wall. We were breaking just before that, so I don't know if the 7 board's before or after that. But we were taking it way easy into the corner or into the chicane, and we just didn't. Right there is where I'm braking. Oh, so you're braking a tiny bit late. You're braking middle of Daytona. I'm braking before Daytona. Right there is where I'm braking. Yeah. So you're braking a little bit later. Not as much later as I thought it was, as much ground as you were gaining into the chicane, but I think I was going a little bit heavier braking maybe than maybe you were, and so I was slowing it down a lot more on the entry. Than really driving off the corner. I felt like I was really strong off of that chicane, whereas you guys seemed like you were struggling to get up to speed a little bit more so. And I don't know if you were shifting down to first in that chicane, but I know I was. So that might be part of it. Hey, send that video, clip that, send that to Dakota. That's how you go through there side by side. So little subtle foreshadowing. Very close to top 2 wrecking and you getting yourself another win. We almost did. We almost did a couple times. No, I mean, you'll see it later when I get past Dakota. I really had to force the issue to do it. I know we have Chris in here. He said that he was braking so late, and it explains a ton. I mean, you can brake late into that chicane and be relatively okay. You can't brake as late as this chicane is, like the bus stop, but that next chicane, I feel like if you brake really late, it's gonna you might make the corner, but you're really gonna suffer off the corner. Really want to point out how cool this paint scheme is, though. Got here more often than that. Perfect. A little more sophisticated, you know. Got air more often than not. Well, I hate to break to you, if we were running the Daytona Rallycross course, you would have been up there in the lead. Oh, missed that one a little bit. I don't know how I didn't miss that bus stop at all the entire race. I almost missed the exit a couple times, that second right turn, but the entrance, there were a couple times where I'm like, oh, I'm gonna miss it, and then I somehow make it. So I don't know. It's weird. This car is very weird on the brakes. Ironically, I think the brakes are better than. Interesting, taking it a little bit lower there. I don't know if you meant to take it that low there, Chris, but or if that was just a mistake they made. But I feel like just the low entry is hurting your arc into the second turn, whereas we're taking a little bit more toward the wall right here, whereas you're like in the middle of the track, it looks like. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I think that it's relative. I mean, it's okay. It's just I don't think it's the braking light part that might be the issue. I think it's more so um, that it's just the arc you get into the corner into the chicane is going to make you sacrifice that second arc out of through the middle and out of it. But that might have been just a mistake in that lap. I'm not sure if you were running that line the entire race or not. So I'm not going to beat you up about it. Coda's starting to, think, let off a little bit. I think he made a mistake somewhere because he loses like 2 seconds of time. I start running significantly faster laps, but I think he noticed too that he's running out of fuel. There's one here trying to get underneath me. I happened to clip the curb there. Yeah, NASCAR had to add the biggest curbs they found in their shed to that corner. Basically a wall. Actually, I'd rather a wall be there, to be honest. If I'm reading the gap correctly, I don't remember what it was going into turn one there, but I know that like you're right on my bumper going into that chicane, and then coming out, I was able to gain a little bit of time back on you. So I don't know if that's all. I mean, some of that's to do with the fact that you hit the curb more so than it is just the line. Ooh. Yep, I almost did that once. I think you were behind me. I think I locked him up, or almost locked him up, and just was able to keep it off of that. But yeah, that's a killer. That's ended many races. Surprised he was able to continue on because he finished on the lead lap. All right.
All right. Yeah, I don't know what the heck happened there, guys.
No clue.
But we're back. And I think we're getting to. We can probably jump ahead to the battle here.
Yeah, I think unless you want to look at, I don't know if I know that you catch me a couple times. I don't know if we ever had a real battle though before me and Dakota did.
It really heats up when we get to the.
Yeah, I think it's pretty close. Yeah, I think I lead either 11, 12, 13 or 12, 13, or a 10, 11, 12, something like that. A little bit. Not. I don't think I lost as much as Dakota did, though. He looked like he was really struggling. Yeah, I definitely lost it, but I was able to like keep it under control through there. Whereas I feel like you and Dakota were definitely pushing a little bit more tight than I was. And just if anybody else is going to run the Daytona 24, that line that Dakota took there is now a penalty. So I know that was the prototype line from last year where they go real wide into one so they can pick up the speed out of one. That is no longer allowed. They are not letting you do that. It'll be an off track. Oh, that's where the mistake happened. I forgot about that. Oh yeah, so that's what happened. That you'll see this cone he picks up here. Oh yep. I think yeah, just a little converging of Ed trying to get back on track. So loses a little bit, and you see that cone that'll stay there. Oh no, it didn't. He was lying. It came out. Unless there's a yeah. Well, he was saying it was in there for like a lap and a maybe I don't know. Maybe he was either lying or he didn't realize that it came out. Griffin getting in the wall a little bit. I don't know. He might have been battling. Is he battling or is that just the yeah? I thought. Oh yeah, it was. Yep, that's good. Oh yep, just trying to get past that. I wasn't expecting. He wasn't expecting the speed difference there. Yep. Right here we got. We'll get it eventually. There we go. There we go. Thank you. Yeah, Dakota tried to protect a little bit into this corner, and I just lunged it in there. And I pushed. I was telling him the whole time, like, I'm pushing tight. I'm not going to make this. And then I saw you coming, and I'm like, I'm going to park this on the inside of Dakota so you can't make a 30 wide move or something. I saw you coming. I just didn't. I didn't want to. I knew that I had to put my car there, or else you were going to pass both of us. Man, that looks. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I didn't realize how bad that was until now. But yeah, still. Yeah. Or, oh yeah. Oh, I'm not. I'm defending what I did against Dakota. I know I did against you is fine. You have to see here. I just threw it in on Dakota because I knew it was my one shot. I didn't think I'd be able to get back to him if he ended up getting a chance to get himself gathered up. Oh yeah, I definitely did. Yeah, which I mean, looking back, he was gonna run out. I thought that he was for closer to me than he was. And I mean, looking back, I was literally on the number. Like I think I had like 0.1 gallons left over or something like that. So yeah, yeah. Literally right here, I'm like, oh, yeah, I finally took the lead. Unfortunately, everybody's right here still. Like, if this is last season, you take the lead, you usually are up at least 5 seconds. Whether that's the next gen car or if that's just the way that we all were in those cars, I don't know. But you see, ironically, I felt like the brakes were better in this car. Maybe I was just more comfortable with these brakes than the next gen car brakes at road courses, but yeah, we're gonna get the same thing lap to lap. It's a little bit more predictable. Yeah. Yeah. I think I think this first lap Dakota was still trying to battle to get past me, but I think he realized that he could have used me being in front of him to his advantage and started to back it off a little bit because he was definitely charging me into that chicane. I took a protective line, take a little bit of a protective line here too. Now you know how I feel last season during all the road courses where you and Dakota far and away in the lead, or Jackson him too. The amount of third places though. The amount of third places that I had to you and James, more so in the trucks, especially at road courses. But to be honest, I was just surprised that I was as competitive as I was because I really did not put in that much practice. Well, from the impression Dakota was giving us, he was practicing for pretty much all of Sunday, which is evident because he was definitely the fastest car during the race. I mean, to be this many laps into the race and have two cars battling for the lead is something like. Yep, you come back from your getting tight in the one that last lap. You end up getting pretty close to us, and I right there. Brandon goes, "Which one of you is coming up on me?" And I'm like, "Both of us." And he saw we were battling, and he's like, "Oh shit!" Yeah, I saw that. I'm like, "Oh, okay." I got past Brandon. How am I gonna get past Jim? And I'm like, "Oh, well, that was easy." Oh man. I think this is where nope. Must have been earlier in the race where I almost smoked that wall right there. I started charging that corner a little bit more because I saw Dakota getting a little bit more time on me through there. Checked the line a little bit down the track. Noticed he wasn't going to go for it, so it came back up. Oh yeah, at this point I definitely knew that that's what he was doing, so I was like, well, I just gotta try to stay in front of him at this point because he's gonna. If I let him, I knew if I let him back by me, he was gonna have the fuel. He was just gonna be able to do whatever he needed to do. Okay. I just, yeah, I made a little mistake trying to. I didn't realize he also hit the curb, or else I wouldn't have been so aggressive out of it and might have been able to keep the position here. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Watch what Dakota does. Yeah, watch what Dakota does. He's lucky right here. I hit the grass. He's lucky I hit the grass, or else we are going to both be in the infield right there. Because I hit that. Yeah. 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 Yeah, exactly. Like he was literally. I was telling Dakota, I'm like, you are lucky with the dirt there, because if I didn't have to let off the gas, we were both gone. I was losing it all down that way there. Eh, well, part of it's that, and part of it's I was just full go at that point, trying to get back to him. Yeah, yeah, that one was I think more on me than it was the rear grip, but I was just trying to get all I could to get back to him. Um, just trying to get a little bit too much, I think, is mainly what it was. But I mean, even early in the race, I was spinning the tires out of pretty much every single corner. I just happened to be able to be going slow enough to early in the race to not want to risk it too much. But if I ever tried to push it like I was here in these later stages, then I would have been doing the same thing. At this point, I've kind of just decided to not risk the second place finish and just try to come home where I am. I didn't think I was going to get back to Dakota after I spun the tires and ended up in the grass there in the infield. And I overcooked it there. Yeah, I don't know how I didn't hit it, to be honest. Oh, yeah, definitely would have. Yep. I think I was honestly even on the brakes coming out of that corner because I knew I was going to get loose like that, and then I overshot one, looks like. See, I wouldn't have been pushing so hard there if I knew that Dakota was so close to being out, because as we'll find out how close this ended up being despite the 2.2 gap right here. It is. That's one of my favorite tracks in the road course here. Oval too, but the road course is just the history and everything else along with it, especially at night. Glad that NASCAR ran the NASCAR road course here at the night, so that way they have a version of this track with lights on everything on the infield, so we could run this at night. Given that NASCAR stock cars don't have headlights, and as Lightning McQueen said, the track is always lit. Except for last week at Los, yeah, except for last week at Los, or Texas. Yeah, no, I honestly was thinking about telling him that during the race because I saw him blink out. I'm like, I gotta disqualify you, bro. Yeah, he's out. Now he's just clutching. He clutched all the way into this, and he's out. You'll hear it right here. Yep. Disqualified for going on the double yellow, maybe. Lucky it isn't the oval. But yeah. At least he won this time, didn't collect a car. Then let us believe that it was the other car's fault for a solid 6 weeks. Yeah, Jim didn't do anything. Another instance of me just passing Dakota when he's out and actually being nice and giving him a little push. See, there's a reason why I have 2 out of 3 wins against him at Homestead Miami Speedway.
Fuel mileage. Fuel mileage.
Then we thought we weren't going to have to worry about fuel at road courses this season. Look at us now.
That's a silly thought. All right. So that's race 0 in the books.
Yep, it was fun. If that's any indication of how the season's going to go, I think it's going to go really well, and I'm happy that we had everybody that showed up for that. I know it's not the most popular thing for a fun race, is doing a road course in a stock car, but we had a decent crowd, and thanks for everybody that showed up for that.
Yeah, I was really impressed with 13 for a road course.
Absolutely. I mean, we only got 14 for the Holiday Dash race and the Daytona Oval, so.
And we ran 10 all season last year, so.
Yeah.
Getting into the new season, we can get into some rules and procedures.
Yep. Absolutely.
Why is that so massive?
That's what she said. Anyways.
Is it? Must be nice.
No comment.
First time here, folks. First.
Yep. We definitely didn't do this at all last season. First time we've ever done a broadcast at all.
Right, we're just having some technical difficulties tonight, folks.
Yep. Second one.
Yeah. All right. There we go.
All right. So I guess we'll start with going over some rulebook stuff here. So we'll start out with here's some race format stuff. So the race distances and fuel capacity is going to be a little bit different from last season. Whereas last season it was static for some race types. We had some longer races, some shorter races. This season we're just going to do stick to these distances for each racetrack, track type. So our super speedway is going to do 250 miles and 100% fuel capacity. So that's what it's going to be for Daytona coming up on Sunday, as well as Talladega to close out the regular season. We felt like 100% capacity was the best for super speedways, so we're going to keep that at 100%. So if you get, I don't remember how much gallons in the car, just for the example, let's say 20 gallons in the car.
18.7.
Okay, so 18.7 is what the car has, but it's going to be limited to these percentages based off of that 18.7. So for Daytona, you're going to get 18.7 gallons per tank. Whatever 75% of that is what you're going to get at intermediates. I'm going to point out that despite Auto Club and Pocono being different, longer than an intermediate track typically is, we're considering those intermediates. So for the race distance, it's still going to be set to 200 miles for those races, along with all your other intermediates like Texas, Charlotte, Kentucky, etc. And those are going to be set at 75% fuel capacity. Short track, it kind of depends on the track. 170 miles is kind of where it's going to be at, with the exception of at least Martinsville, which is going to be 130 miles, because I didn't think 130 miles of Martinsville is 250 laps. So we're not going to do much more than that there.
That would be a long race.
Yeah. So 250 laps is already half of what they run real life Cup Series. So we're gonna run a little bit, just 250.
So
And then road courses. Yep. Sorry. Go ahead.
no, go ahead. Short tracks also includes Dover and Phoenix,
Yep.
and those are I think 170 for Dover and 167 laps for Phoenix. So, but it stays with the 170-mile motif.
Yep. Yep. We're gonna treat those the same way, just because anything basically a mile and under, we're treating as short track. Anything a mile to anything over a mile, excluding Daytona and Talladega, we're considering intermediates. Then yeah, for our road courses, they're also going to be set at 75% fuel capacity. They're going to be 110 miles. So with the exception of the Clash, we only did 15 laps there, which I don't know how much that would be in miles, but it's not
I
110.
think it was 55, so it would have been a 30 lapper to do 110 miles,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yep. So imagine basically twice the distance is what our road course is going to be set to. So that'll be the rules we'll follow for each race. Those distances are already up, so you've had the laps and the distances for the races. Now you have your fuel capacities. We just wanted to be clear on the distances, exactly what we were going off of, to be clear with everybody there. All right, and some different, more race procedures that might be different from last season. Um, Same as last season, full course cautions are on ovals, not on road. I will say it's going to be primarily based off of the um, iRacing system for throwing cautions. However, I do us myself and the admins, James, Dakota, anybody does reserve the right to throw a caution if we see something that deserves it. We'll decide exactly what we kind of envision that being. I don't know if we want to just do it for single car spins or if we want to do it for something a little bit more than that or not. I think it's going to depend.
Yeah,
Um,
it's gonna be kind of case by case. Like last year, we were super lenient with it with the short field with the small fields, but hopefully with bigger fields, they'll if something's worthy, iRacing will throw it. Whereas, you know,
yep,
when there's 10 cars and the ninth car spins, it doesn't throw it because there's no
yep,
one in the way. But
yeah. So if it becomes an issue, we'll probably be a little bit more liberal with that caution button. But to start out, we'll probably be a little bit more conservative. I will say single car spins are probably going to be less likely, especially in the last season, to draw that caution, at least manually. Um, However, if we see like some 2, 3, 4 car spins or wrecks even that for some reason don't get a caution, then we're gonna probably throw it there. Um, Another change is we're going straight to one fast repair. I know it was kind of different for every race last season. However, we're just going to do one for each race, no matter what track type it is, no matter whether or not it's the playoffs or not. We're just going to do one. And then another thing we're going to do is top 2 in points, regular season points, to receive an EOL prior to the race start at select races. Let me pull that up. It will be at Phoenix, Atlanta, Charlotte, Pocono, Kentucky, and Richmond. So that's week 2 through
3 through 9,
10. 3 through 9. 3 through 9. Yep, that's right.
3 through 9,
So the middle.
excluding the Circuit of the Americas race, and it
Yep.
ends before the Watkins Glen. The just with no cautions at road courses, an EOL is just an over the top penalty. It's impossible to overcome.
Yep. So we're not going to do it for the road courses, but every other race within there, aside from the All Star race, the All Star race will not have any. In addition, I don't know.
You skipped the
I'm gonna
second one
not.
there.
Oh, yep, I missed that one. So the leader has so the new thing we're gonna do. So the leader is gonna have lane choice on starts and restarts. We're not gonna have a choose cone like the Cup Series does in real life. That's gonna be too much without iRacing having a system in place to do that. When iRacing, I think they're working on that. So if they do implement that, we're not going to do it for this season, but for next season, if they do implement that, then we'll do the choose cone. However, we're going to do the leader is going to have lane choice on starts and restarts. So if they want to start on the outside, they can start on the outside. We'll clear any blacks that might come of that. Whoever's in second, they're not going to be penalized a row. They're just going to move to the inside if the leader wants the outside line.
Yeah.
So the leader's just going to have to communicate that with whoever's in second. Just communicate it over the race chat, even if you're with them in a Discord chat or whatever, whoever's in second, just so that way everybody knows, just communicate that over the iRacing chat as well.
Yeah, just key the mic and say taking the outside. Leader taking the outside, leader taking the inside. Whatever you want to do, just let us know so that we know that there's a swap going on.
Yep. All right, and so a little bit different point system here. James came up with this one, and we decided to keep it. I don't think we made any changes to it. So first place is going to earn 45 points, so 5 more points from last season. Then second's going to get 40. Then it's going to go down by 2 for the top 5, and then there's going to be another 5-point gap from 5th to 6th. Then it's going to go down by 2 until 10th, I believe, and then it's going to
It's another 2, but then it like after 11th it goes down by 1.
Yep.
So we're putting a
after
little more emphasis on top 10s, even more emphasis on top 5s, and rewarding wins with a little more points. We just had, again, when you have 10 cars, it's almost impossible to separate on points and really make a difference whether you finish second or 8th. So again, hoping we have more cars where it's not a problem, but we do want to encourage and we do want to put an emphasis on finishing well, as opposed to just winning and getting playoff points. The other thing is 20th on back, assuming we have enough cars for that, it'll be 10 points. As long as you complete a lap, you're getting 10 points.
Yep. So if you get a bad race, then you're not going to be over. I mean, it's going to be a penalty if you have that many, or if we have that many drivers, but it won't be like you're going to get 0 points. It's good. So instead of it being like a loss of upwards of 30 or upwards of 40 points, it's going to be upwards of 30 maybe. So
yeah, and that's just, again, so that if we have a random race where we have 30 cars and you happen to finish 27th, you're not getting a 3-point race, even though you've run all the races and stuff like that. It's kind of just protecting the back end while keeping an emphasis on finishing well.
Oops. And then bonus points and playoff points largely stayed the same. The difference is in bonus points, most laps led, instead of being worth 3 points, it's now worth 2. So the most bonus points you can get from a single accomplishment, whatever you want to call it, is 2. So you get 2 for pole position, 2 for fastest lap, 2 for most laps led. You get 1 if you lead 3 laps or more. And you get 1 if you get the most positions gained from the race start to the race finish. And then for playoff points, you'll get, these will kick in once the playoffs start. So everybody will be reset to 2,000 points if you make the playoffs. And then these points will be added onto that 2,000 points. If you don't get any, then you'll just start with 2,000. And then these will get added on if you do get them. So race wins are still going to be 5. You're still going to have a playoff point for pole position and fastest laps. And then if you get a most laps led in any race, you not on top of the 2 bonus points that you get. So we brought that down from 3 to 2. That point that you get extra is now going to be a playoff point. So still going to put some emphasis on that and recognize what the accomplishment there is in getting most laps led. Just with how many points, given that normally goes to the leader most times, and they're getting 5 extra points for the leader, or the winner. Made that a little bit less so on the regular season points, but you still get that extra point for the playoffs.
Now we get into some intricacy and some contingency.
Yeah, so this will change, and this might change. It's going to depend on how many cars we get. So obviously the playoffs. All right, so this one is going to depend. So if we average more than 12 cars for the playoffs, then average
20
more than 20 cars for the playoffs, we're going to have a 12-car playoff. If we have less than 20 cars, we're just going to have a 10-car playoff. So this is going to be decided over the All-Star break, as it says there. And so basically, we're going to have 6 weeks kind of figure out where the field's going to be. So if we average more than 20, then we're going to have 12 over those 6 races, and then 10 if we don't. A little bit different from last season. We're still going to have 2 rounds, except for it's going to be 6 races, 3 races per round. So your championship round is only going to be, or is going to be 3 races. I believe it was Texas,
Dover and
Dover,
Chicago.
Chicagoland. So it's going to be the points across those 3 races. It's the playoff field is going to reset for those 4 drivers that make the championship. I believe it's 4, no matter what. So the points are going to be reset to 3,000, and then the same thing's going to apply. You're going to get your playoff points are going to carry over, or they're not going to carry over.
No, that's
So
what
playoff points.
and it's coming up. I got slides on the
Okay.
rounds,
So okay.
but basically
So,
the main thing was no matter what, it's 6 races, 2 rounds, and then the big thing is what after the 6 races we'll figure out whether it's a 12 or a 10-car field.
yep, and we'll make sure to announce that. So we pay attention over that All-Star break, and we'll let you know. We might let you know earlier than that, but we want to give it. We're probably going to give it those 6 weeks just to make sure that there's not some steep fall off or some steep gain in cars.
New thing.
All right, way new thing. So we saw the in-season challenge last season in the Cup Series, and we're going to do our own version. So we're going to do. This also has some contingencies to it, and it might be a little bit confusing. We'll announce what it ends up being a little on the All-Star break at the latest as well. This one's going to depend more so on how many different winners we get through the All-Star break. So the in-season challenge is going to be 16 drivers. It's going to be seeded by regular season points, and there's going to be head-to-head matchups, bracket style, just like they did in the Cup Series. You win your head-to-head match, you advance. The caveat to our particular,
I got the 2 different formats. This is again just the basics here.
Okay, yep. So this is the basics. So we're going to do it over 4 races: Pocono, Kentucky, Richmond, and Watkins Glen. So that's the month of races we're going to have between the All-Star break and Easter. So we have 2 off weeks there scheduled. So it's going to be between those 2 off weeks that we're going to do.
And funny enough, it's all 4 races in March, so it's our own little March Madness.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Put some brackets out, let people choose.
So here's where we get the contingencies. If we have a 12-car playoff, it'll be the top 16 non-winners thus far. It'll be 6 races in. So in the event that we have 6 different winners and we don't have 16 non-winners, the top however many will just get buys. But the top 16 non-winners will be seeded, and then you advance through the bracket. Bracket champion receives the 12th playoff bid. It's an automatic bid, and it eliminates the 12th berth for winners or points. You are locked in if you win the bracket challenge. If you win a race in this format, in the 12-car format, you're a non-winner. You win a race in the bracket challenge, you are eliminated from the bracket challenge. Your opponent gets the win in your stead, but because you won, you've clinched a playoff spot anyway. There's no need for you to continue in the bracket.
Yep.
I don't know if you have anything to add for the 12-car format.
No, I think this will be a really cool thing to see because it'll be a little bit more. If we can do it this way, which I don't see why we wouldn't be able to right now. I think it'll be really cool to see those midfield battles. Give some people a little bit extra to race for, and then hey, if maybe you decide not to push it if you're on a 1-2 versus whoever you're playing and they're winning, maybe you don't push it because you're gonna have advance regardless. Or you can push it and get the win, guarantee yourself with a Shabbat. So it's going to be an interesting little strategy plays that we'll see play out. That we'll be sure to cover on this if we get this playoff, and I think we'll move on to the other possibility. So if we get a 10-car playoff, it's just going to be the top 16 in points that are going to be seeded. you'll get round winners will receive playoff points rather than a playoff berth because half of the whatever, however many it will be berths. So we're gonna probably so the incentive via playoff points, and so there will be no automatic bid for the winner. However, you'll get a bunch of playoff points. So
Yeah, I don't think we've
if you do make
finalized the playout point payout yet. So we'll figure that out in the event that we have to use this format. But just with the influx of people and the 13 people we had for the clash, we're really optimistic and hopeful that we're going to have enough to have a 12-car playoff and do the non-winner bracket challenge version. So, all right, back to the playoffs. There's again 3 ways to earn a playoff berth. It's winning a race, being top, hopefully 11 in points, and then that bracket challenge champion. And then, just like anything else, if there's more winners than available spots, the tiebreaker will be points earned among the bottom of the cutoff. And of course, the bracket challenge champion is only for a 12-car playoff.
Yep. And I will point out with race winners, you must start at least 8 of the 12 races. So if you start 8 races and you get a win, you're in. If you start 7 and you get a win, you're still eligible for the playoffs. However, you'll need to point your way into the playoffs. You won't get an automatic berth for being a race winner.
And you mentioned it, the first round of the playoffs, which I've dubbed the elimination round. We can change that name if you don't like it, but 10 or 12 drivers, depending on our field size, reset to 2,000, add any applicable playoff points, 3 races, top 4 in points advance. There is no win in advance. So a win does not clinch your berth in the championship 4 round. It is just max points for you. And then again, as you mentioned, reset it to 3,000 for the championship round. At least to my knowledge, we had discussed the playoff points no longer carry over. It's just straight up 3 races, most points wins.
Yep, we'll just do that. The playoff points earned, so it's going to be straight up. Everybody's on level playing field at this point. You've made it to the championship. You're one of the top 4 drivers. You had your playoff points for the first round. So if you make it, it's just straight up. Let's these 3 drivers earn most points to win the championship. Well, I'm excited to do this. It's going to give us a little bit more of a sample size, a little bit less drama potentially.
There was plenty of drama in the championship race last year.
Yeah, and well, take your pick of which championship race had drama, real life or virtual. But yep, we're gonna do it like this year. Give us a couple more races, spread it out over 3 different. Is it 3 different?
2 mile and a half and a short track, but
yeah, 2 mile and a half and a short track.
3 different shaped tracks though. We got the quad oval at Texas, the Monster Mile at Dover, and then the old. No, it is in use now. I forgot that they're going back, but Chicagoland.
So yep, and I mean Texas is a little bit different too because it's the new Texas. So the
oblong,
it's the one
weird,
with the different, the
weird corners.
We all know what we mean by New Texas. It's weird, but we're going to that one. So it's 3 different challenges. It'll be interesting to see who comes out and who even makes it there. All right. Well, we've upped the prize pool from $100 to it's now $150. Now there's 4 ways that you can win these the payouts. So you can, if you're the champion, you get $75. Your runner up, you get 40. If you're 3rd place, you get 20. And then the other way you can get it is if you win the All-Star race, you win 15. So 4 different ways that you can get it. $150 total. A little bit more money we added to it, so it's distributed along those lines. Even though there was a payout, here's how you can earn those payouts.
And just some other news and notables. Funny enough, all from February. We've determined Atlanta on February 1st to be our throwback race, just since we're running old Atlanta. Makes the most sense. So week 4, get those throwback schemes in and ready to roll. The next week is Super Bowl Sunday, so we've moved our race to Monday night. That'll be February 9th. That's our race at Coda. And then the All Star race is February 22nd at North Wilkesboro, and that will lead into our first bye week setup. We'll announce the playoffs and the bracket challenge. And then, yeah, as it says, we'll figure out the All Star race and announce that as we get a little bit closer.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all I've got. So unless you've got something else, that's what I had.
Well, I don't have anything else. I guess the only thing else that I could tease it a little bit. I'm not going to give anything other than if you like the GT3 cars, we have something brewing for you guys. Well, now that's all I want to say right now. We have some plans for that as we get further into the season. We like to have some more stuff than just the main PRL running. So we might have some, in some way, shape, or form, we're probably going to do something with sports cars in general, or more specifically, we're thinking of the GT3 car. I know I saw Griffin ask what jersey it is. This is, if you can see it, it's Mike Ditka, Bears jersey. Bears actually may somehow defied the odds, made the playoffs, so they play this Saturday. So I need to wear it the first week because there's no guarantees we're going to make it to. So I had to make it when there was a guarantee that I could wear it, and we're still playing. So
that was like me rocking my Blue Jays hat when they were not necessarily in the World Series just yet, but
yeah. So I'll keep wearing it every week. They're still in it. If I'm wearing a different shirt, then if you didn't pay attention, then you know what happened. So
who do they play?
Packers.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, we get to play the 7th seed, except for the fact that it's the Packers. So I'm not comfortable. So
I wouldn't be either.
But yep, I don't care. Anything after this point is a bonus. I was expecting like 8 wins this year, so I'll take 11 and a playoff berth if that's all we end up getting.
All right, I think minor issues, and we made it through the first week. Excited for Daytona on Sunday, and come back and hopefully discuss my Daytona 250 win next Wednesday.
Yeah. Hey, my money's on Jim. I guess we can do that. We can make a pick. You got a pick?
We can do that. Since we typically don't pick ourselves, I'm rooting for myself. I think it's Griffin. I think he was a problem at Dega. He was a problem at PRL Holiday Dash Daytona. It was a problem in your ARCA Atlanta. I think he's a super speedway problem, and I think Griffin gets it done.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet against him. I will say I can't bet against Jim because he won the race last year at
undefeated,
Daytona, last season.
Undefeated at Daytona.
He won that inaugural PRL race at Daytona. He set the fastest lap in that race. He set the fastest lap in the Holiday Dash Daytona race.
And Talladega too.
Yeah, and Talladega. Like you can't ever count Jim out on a super speedway. I'd say my second pick is I'm gonna pick Brandon. I picked him a bunch. I can't. I just can't pick against Brandon, especially given the fact that he's pushed me to some wins that I kind of owe him. So if I end up behind him, sorry to whoever's next to us, but I'm pushing him to the win. So
Griffin also points out that Jim won the pole for the Holiday Dash.
Oh yeah, so I mean, yeah, well, you can't bet against Jim. I'm gonna. Those are my Jim's my can't bet against him pick. Brandon's my. I think he's gonna get him one. He's the one guy that we mentioned all last season that still hasn't gotten himself a win in the PRL. Miguel was able to get him one in the Homestead Miami race. So, well, he's the last one. That's we're waiting to get one, and I think he's knocking on the door of getting one. So I'm gonna pick him to start out the season.
Yeah, we're gonna try and make our 3 Great Lake Motorsports Fords as wide as possible, keep y'all behind us, and settle it amongst
Hey,
ourselves.
hey, we don't have a team name right now, but the Lynx
You also don't.
Designs
You also don't have
cars.
a manufacturer.
No, we got two manufacturers. We've got 3 Chevys and 1 Toyota.
What's it? What's it when you have 2 quarterbacks? You don't have a quarterback. Yeah, you don't have a manufacturer.
Hey, we got 4 cars. We got you outnumbered, so we have a little bit of a shot there. Although, hey, we basically only got 3 because Dakota's basically all but said he's on his own. So
That was interesting in the chat. Yeah, Griffin says you guys got rentals.
hey man, you drive the rentals faster than you drive your own car, so I'll take it.
Oh, jeez.
Drive it like it ain't yours.
I guess the big thing is let's keep the new guys behind us. Let's get a PRL original in victory lane. One of the
Hey,
original
we'll see.
10.
Hey, we'll see. We always tend to get the new guys. Always tend to win pretty early. I mean, we had
Yeah.
Griffin winning pretty early into his tenure. We had Miguel's the only one that was new that really took him a while, but Jim won his first race. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We should have some decent amount of drivers. I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait for Sunday to get here. Sunday's race is going to open practice at the same time as we had this last week, so 8 p.m. Eastern time. Qualifying the same time as always, or as last week, 8:50 p.m. Eastern. 10 minutes of qualifying. We have our race starting at 9, or at least the race session starting at 9. You know how it is with waiting for everybody to take the entire 2 minutes to get into the car.
Hey man, you got to use that time to pee.
And we're gonna have a long 100 laps. So
Now, is qualifying 1 lap again this year, or are we gonna have 3?
no, we'll do 3. We'll do 3. Hey. That one wasn't my fault. You can blame iRacing for that one.
Yeah. No, I'm just busting your chops. Yeah, I'm excited. Let's get it going. Let's hopefully have some actual pack racing at these super speedways instead of just the 10 cars saving fuel.
We will till half the field speeds and green flag pit stops, and we got 2 giant packs of cars going half the track apart.
Very possible. Very possible.
Yep, it was a good first show. A little bit of technical difficulties. At least me and James will likely be back next week. We'll see about Dakota. He's going to be week to week kind of with his work schedule. So he'll be here sometimes. He won't be here sometimes. But at the very least, you can count on me and James being here most weeks. So
Yep, unless something pops up. But yeah, most of the time it's going to be the 2 of us, and race winners hopefully, if we can get them in like normally.
Yep, we will do that when we can. We'll have the race winners on. I guess we'll mention that to the guys that haven't raced with us before. So we do race winner interviews. So if you win the race, watch out for a DM for one of us. Probably just me and James. I don't think Dakota would DM you, but keep an eye out for one of us to DM you and see if you want to be on the show.
Well, we made it, Cam. We made it through.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to Sunday and back again on Wednesday.
Yep. Thanks for joining us. I'm looking forward to the rest of this season getting going.